right, go ahead, shoot.
What is up, guys? It's Bruin Steel here. I am Bruin Steel, your host, and welcome to another WWE broadcast. And we are recapping this past Monday Night Raw, August 28th, the Raw before Payback, the pay per view for Payback, the Payback pay per view. So we have a lot to talk about, and once again, I am joined by Canadian Yorker. How are you?
Doing well, thank you. How are you doing?
Good, good. It was an unbelievable Monday Night Raw this past Monday. This is the final Raw before Payback on Saturday. But unfortunately, I will be out of town this weekend, so I probably can't do a broadcast until like next Tuesday, which is going to be for the next Monday's Raw. So I won't be back until Tuesday. So this is probably my last broadcast with you, unless you can do next Tuesday. But let's get right into it. This past Monday Night Raw took place in Memphis, Tennessee, so there was nice crowd. An old high school friend of mine went to the event, so he showed me some pictures and stuff like that. So, but anyways, let's get start with the recap and what happened this past Monday night on Raw. So the show opened up with one half of the undisputed tag team champions, Sami Zayn, opened the show, and but he was cut off by no other than Damian Priest, one of the members of Judgment Day. Also, he holds the Money in the Bank contract. So, anyways, this led to a one-on-one matchup between Sami Zayn and Damian Priest. We all know the situation with Judgment Day and JD McDonough. JD McDonough is Finn Balor's friend. He came out trying to be part of Judgment Day, and he cost Sami Zayn the matchup, um, leading to a Damian Priest win over Sami Zayn. Unfortunately, that was crazy. I hate interference. So Priest wasn't really happy. He didn't want to do anything with JD McDonough. He shoved the Irishman after the match. Yes, JD, uh, JD McDonough is Irish. So and Kevin Owens came out and just attacked JD McDonough with Damian Priest with leaving the win, leaving JD McDonough lying there in the ground, which kind of led into an argument between Finn Balor and Damian Priest later in the match. So the winner was well, it says the winner was Sami Zayn, but I don't know why. Oh yeah, the Sami Zayn. Um, Let me see. Give me a second. Damian Priest. Damian Priest. It looks like I saw he won the match, but it looks like Sami Zayn won the match. That's confusing because I'm pretty sure I saw. I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Damian Priest won. Give me one second. Uh,
Damian Priest did win.
yeah. So I don't know why it says Sami Zayn won, but yeah. Damian Priest won off of a pitfall. So what are your thoughts on this match?
I think it was a great match. Honestly, I think the Judgment Day needs more heel heat. We obviously need more of a heel heat. People to really despise them more. Obviously, we already know who has the most heat within that group. That's Dominic Mysterio. He's got the most heat, but it seems to me like with all this infighting of the Judgment Day between Damian Priest and and, and Finn Balor, it just doesn't seem like they're adequate enough as far as heels are. Cheating to win. As far as I remember, the last few matches they've played as been at working as teams and stuff. They just seem to cough up and choke on the in their matches. Somehow they end up losing their matches for no reason. They end up, either the other team wins against them and they end up losing, and then now they're infighting against one another. It's just not a very good look for them in that regard with this infighting and them losing matches because they claim to be quote unquote the most dominant team in Raw, but they don't look very dominant to me. As far as I can tell, they're not the most dominant faction. They can't even beat the WWE Tag Team Champions. And honestly, I thought the Judgment Day would be that group that takes it takes on the mantle of the bloodline in some aspects, but they just aren't living up to the expectations that are there. You know.
All right, so yeah, I thought it was a great match as well. It's kind of sucked that JD McDonough interfered, but I do want to mention what's going to happen moving forward to Payback. So obviously, Rhea Ripley is going to defend her World Heavyweight Championship against Raquel Rodriguez, which is going to be a great match. I'm looking forward to that. And it was announced this past Monday that Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will defend their titles against Damian Priest and Finn Balor in a street fight. So it's just not gonna be ordinary fight tag team match. It's gonna be a street fight with the titles on the line. Um, Obviously, there was a backstage segment between Finn Balor and Damian Priest. They got a little, heated up because Damian Priest left JD McDonough in the ring getting attacked by Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, and Damian Priest just leaving him in the air. And Finn Balor got pissed off. They started to heat up, and then Rhea Ripley said, "Oh, I can't, I can't take it every week with you guys not getting along and stuff like that, and there might be some changes." She said, "I'm sorry to say this, but we might see the end of Judgment Day this week at Payback, because Rhea Ripley said that if you don't walk out with gold, there's gonna be some changes." So I'm kind of curious what's gonna happen with the Judgment Day. What happens if Kevin Owens and Sami retain? Right now, I'm saying that most likely, I think Damian Priest is gonna get kicked out. JD McDonough is gonna get replaced. Gonna be the replacement for Damian Priest, or it might be the other way around. I'm not sure. So I'm excited to see something going on right there and see what's gonna happen with the Judgment Day, because obviously Finn Balor thinks that Damian Priest cost him twice against his matches against Seth Rollins for the World Heavyweight Championship twice in a row. So we got to see what happens. So, any thoughts on that?
I think that JD McDonough, not getting help from Damian Priest it's obvious. It's pretty obvious that Damian Priest doesn't trust JD McDonough, and even though McDonough is trying to prove himself, the members don't trust him, and that's kind of a understandable point of view, because they're like a ragtag group of misfits. They want to stick together, and obviously they are showing cracks within their formations. I honestly think that it won't be Damian. Why would Damian Priest be the one uh, to completely uh, uh, do that? To be kicked out of Judgment Day, it doesn't make sense to me. I really think that Finn Balor may be the one that would be kicked out and replaced, because it's just that kind of seems more likely, because he just keeps making mistakes after mistake, and he can't seem to get the job done. And I guess his teammates are seeing this, and they're realizing, what, he's not actually living up to the expectations that are there in front of him. So he probably was the weakest link, and they're really seeing that he has to go, and he's replaceable in their eyes, and that's the way I see it. As far as for them to really, really, in order for them to really win against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens, they got to pull off. They got to pull off the most. Like, they have to be ruthless and really go for the find ways to work together and take out their Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. They have to really push themselves as far as they can to the win against these guys, because it just seems like they keep winning, and this rivalry is not really going anywhere. It's not going to go anywhere unless they win and they get the championships, and you can see a kind of new turn in this story. Like right now, it just doesn't seem like with these issues among the group, it's not really gonna help them succeed.
All right, moving on because I don't want to spend too much time on one segment and match, but we're gonna go to the next segment and match. Thanks for your thought there. Anyways, obviously we saw the Miz. Obviously the Miz and the LA Knight is going to go at it at Payback, and LA Knight didn't show up. He actually did come out. Well, actually, the Miz came out in all intimidating the megastar LA Knight. The whole sunglass and the "Give me a hell yeah" gig. It was actually pretty funny. I love the Miz. Obviously, people don't like him sometimes. There's people who hate him. There's people who love him. But that was the segment. He came out using LA Knight's theme song and intimidated him. So hopefully LA Knight saw that and beat his ass. So hopefully, I want to see LA Knight whoop Miz's ass. But anyways, going into the next match, we have the New Day versus the Viking Raiders. I thought that was a great match, but like I said, I hate when there's interference. But look, I love Drew McIntyre and Riddle. They were at ringside for this matchup a couple times. This was an unbelievable match. It was back and forth. One of the Viking Raiders actually tossed. I believe it was. I think it was Xavier Wood or Kofi Kingston. I don't remember, but one of the Viking Raiders tossed one of them and took out Drew McIntyre and Riddle. And Drew McIntyre was so angry, he started throwing chairs, one in the ring. He accidentally hit Xavier Woods in the face with it, leading to a Vikings win by pinfall. It was a double power bomb on Kofi Kingston. It's a finisher, Ragnarok for the win, and the Viking Raiders get the win over the New Day. So I only thought it was a great match. Obviously, the distraction of Drew McIntyre getting pissed off, but there might be some consequences for them at next week. But next week, Riddle, it's announced that Riddle and Drew McIntyre will face the Viking Raiders, but in a different kind of tag team match. It will be a tornado style tag team match. I honestly don't know the rules, but what do you think What do you think of this match, Canadian Yorker? The Viking Raiders beat the New Day by pinfall.
I think it's a good thing to see because these Viking Raider guys are really coming up and coming. And New Day's been around a lot, but the Viking Raiders are coming around. I actually have a thing for Vikings. I think Vikings are cool, and the fact that these guys are Viking Raiders, they're really showcasing it. They're really powerful, strong. They're really flexible. Uh, you know, it's amazing to me how these guys can really maneuver themselves in the ring, and they're able to take out the opponents really quick, despite their size. And they're proving themselves to be a formidable team. We just have to see how they do against Drew McIntyre and Riddle. Um, the Viking Raiders are an interesting angle. They're scary. They're proving themselves to be a scary team.
And obviously, no history between Drew McIntyre and the Viking Raiders. You all know the rivalry that he had with the Viking Raiders back in the day when Sheamus was his partner. So I miss those days. But yeah, the Viking Raiders get the win by pinfall over the New Day. I kind of expected the New Day to get the win. I mean, when they returned for the first time, they faced the Viking Raiders and got the win. Obviously, they needed to do that. It would look bad for the New Day if they got their first loss back. So. But anyways, the next segment is Gunther, the Intercontinental Champion, coming out with his two bodyguards, Kaiser and Ludwig Kaiser and the other guy, I forgot his name. They deliver a promo saying that there will be a title match next week. And then Alpha Academy, Max Zan, Chad Gable, and Otis came out. Chad Gable was gloating to Gunther how he won by giving Gunther his first loss, which is crazy, but it was a count out. So these two warriors will do it again. I expected them to get the rematch at Payback, but no. Next week on Raw, they're gonna get the rematch. They're gonna collide again for the Intercontinental Championship. So that's gonna be awesome to see. And the match was Chad Gable versus Ludwig Kaiser. It was a pretty much a good match until it got ruined at the end. Honestly, this is a match I wasn't really a favorite of because, like always, there was interference. You know, Otis and oh yeah, the other guy was Gio Vasquez Vinci. Ended in interference, led to a brawl between Otis and Vincent. So the referee had no mistake to call it a disqualification, no contest. So that was crazy. But these two, like I said, I expected them, Chad Gable and Gunther, to face off at a Payback for the Intercontinental, but instead they're doing it next week on Monday Night Raw. So what's your thoughts on this match?
Yeah, I'm kind of curious to see how you said that next week. Um, Gunther and Chad Gable are going to go for the Intercontinental Championship.
Again, yes, they're not doing it at the pay per view for some reason. I don't know, but they're doing it next week instead.
So it's going to be kind of an interesting angle because Chad Gable is interesting. He kind of grew on me as a wrestler. I never knew about him until last year, 2 years ago. Um, but the fact that he was able to beat um, Gunther was interesting. And now Gunther has to defend his title against him. I really wonder how is Gunther going to overcome this because he's really he's a really good he's a really good wrestler, and I'm wondering how in the world is he gonna beat Chad Gable because Chad Gable is really good at what he does. He's pretty technical, which is proving a challenge for Gunther.
All right, moving
So
on. The next match, I haven't seen this guy. We saw him when we went to the WWE event this past May and 29th of this year. Bronson Reed, if you remember him, versus Tommaso Ciampa. So I can't even say his name well, but he's a um, I'm just gonna call him Thomas Soft, but yeah, they had a one-on-one match. They had beef for a couple times. They both interfered in a couple matches together, especially when Tomso had had an interference interfered with when Bronson Reed interfered this match against the Miz. So they had a one-on-one match, and but before that happened, Seth freaking Rollins, WWE World Heavyweight Champion, came out to talk about his match against Shinsuke Nakamura. Obviously those two are gonna go at it for the World Heavyweight Championship. Another match I'm looking forward to see. And a tribute to Bray Wyatt showed up, and after that Seth Rollins had a segment, and after that, Nakamura ended up doing another sneak attack, ended up attacking Seth Rollins from behind, and kicked him in the face to knock him out. So that was the segment. Nakamura is just one step ahead of Seth Rollins, and that's all about the feud is Nakamura targeting Seth Rollins' back. So, what are you looking more? What are you most looking forward to this match this week at
I'm
Payback?
really wondering. I'm really wondering what is the motivation behind Shinsuke Nakamura's attack, had continued attacks on Seth Rollins, and just the story just doesn't make sense. They won, but Shinsuke knocked. They won when they faced the Judgment Day, and then all of a sudden Shinsuke turns heel, and you could have a reason that says, "Hey, I did this for this reason or whatever," but it just seems to me like this is a this story right here, this rivalry, it just seems to be a little bit rushed. Um, to me, it seems a little rushed. Um, we'll have to see. I think Seth Rollins is going to retain his title for against Shinsuke Nakamura, so he's not really going anywhere for the time being.
All right. But yeah, before I get into the Seth Rollins thing, I mentioned that Bronson Reed had a one-on-one match with Tommaso Ciampa. I can't even say his name. It was a back and forth match. I actually missed this match, so I forgot to watch highlights. But it said that Tommaso Ciampa won by pinfall. It says that it didn't really look good at the end, so I don't really know what happened. I believe maybe it was a bad pinfall. But Tommaso Ciampa's I can't his name, got the win. So I don't know if you saw the match. What do you think of this match?
I honestly haven't seen much of the match, except maybe at the beginning when it started. Tommaso came out of and he's going walking to the ring, and then Bronson Reed comes from behind and attacks him from behind, and that's what I saw so far. I haven't seen much as far as what happened in regards to that, but
All right. The next match, hopefully I didn't miss anything. The match was Becky Lynch versus Zoe Stark in a False Count Anywhere match, and obviously we know going into Payback, Becky Lynch is going to face Trish Stratus one last time, and it's going to be inside a foot-long steel cage match. It's going to be a steel cage match, and this is the rivalry it's going to end. I'm looking forward to see what's going to happen. Obviously, I think Becky Lynch is going to get the job done. We might see the return of Lita. That's my prediction. I think Lita is going to return and help Becky Lynch to win. Obviously, Lita was out because she got attacked. Another other than Trish Stratus, turning heel and attacking both Becky Lynch and Lita. So Lita should come out for revenge. But this was a False Count Anywhere match. And it was I thought it was an unbelievable match, and at the end, this was actually the main event, I believe. But yeah, it was a back and forth. Ladies got hit by candlesticks. Becky Lynch got slammed into tables. Everyone got slammed into the table, but at the end, Trish Stratus got involved, obviously, in this match, no disqualification. And at the end, it was Zoe Stark accidentally punching Trish Stratus into a table. You see the reaction of Zoe Stark and Becky Lynch. Surprise, and then they both realized it was just both of them. Becky Lynch taking the opportunity and manhandle slam, her finisher. Zoe Stark for the table and getting the 1-2-3, getting the win over Tony Stark in a False Count Anywhere match. This was probably the best match of the night. I enjoyed it. What do you think of this match?
yeah, I think it was a back and forth affair, and could have gone either way. However, when Zoe Starks knocked um, Trish Stratus off of the platform they were on and hit her, and so she fell into the table, and both Becky Lynch and Zoe were surprised, had a surprised look on her face. It's that so my and I'm like, what? Why are both of them surprised? It doesn't make sense that both of them should be surprised. Only Zoe should be surprised because she knocked Trish off of the high platform that they were on, and it just doesn't make sense that that Becky would be surprised because it's just confusing to me when I had that reaction. It was very confusing to me. I don't know. I'm like, what in the world? Why is Becky surprised just like Zoe by Zoe's actions? You know, um, you don't act surprised when something like that happens. I try to take advantage of the situation and remove yourself from that just doesn't make sense that something would happen like that. So honestly, I think that's kind of a downside to that match. With the whole surprise look on both these wrestlers' faces, But all in all, it's great to see Becky Lynch got the win against Trish Stratus and and Zoe because they've been dogging her, and she's been losing because one or the other is interfering in the matches against Trish. So she's really put in the work, and that was good. That was a good win for Becky.
All right, yep. I've always been a big fan of Becky Lynch, but another promo. Thank God I remembered. I would have forgot. Another segment that happened on Raw. Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio came out with a promo. Rhea Ripley talking about her match about Raquel Rodriguez, which ended up Raquel coming out, standing up, and both Raquel Rodriguez and Rhea Ripley started to brawl. Dominic Mysterio was kind of a distraction. You know, Raquel noticed him and kind of trash talked to him, and then Rhea came from behind, and then apparently Raquel was the better woman. Made the best of Rhea Ripley. So I can't wait to see this match this week on Payback. So what do you think of that promo? How do you think? What do you think of the whole segment?
Um, so I remember the segment that was. Repeat. What was the segment again?
It was Rhea Ripley and Dominic Mysterio coming out with a promo with Rhea Ripley talking about her
Oh
match
yes,
against
yes.
Chaos.
So yes, so Rhea Ripley, is just doing her thing, talking about how she's just going to destroy um, her quest to get through her Raquel Rodriguez, and Raquel is really strong. Rhea Ripley is also strong, so this is going to be a powerhouse match against these two women to determine who's the stronger woman. And obviously, Raquel has shown that she's Rhea Ripley's match, and this is the second time she's done it. So this is going to be a brutal match going forward, and it's going to be a lot of power throwing, and you're going to have to see a lot of damage being done with these throws and in the ring and stuff. You know, I think with Raquel's a great matchup for Rhea because a lot of Rhea's opponents are not as strong as she is, but she's really put in the work to improve improve herself as a wrestler. So um, that is all I have to say about this match. Hopefully, I think Rhea might be coming out of that, or coming out of that match. Um,
All
that's what I think.
right. So, also, I do want to mention that Payback is this Saturday. It's going to be a lot of matches. Well, there's going to be 6 matches. So, I do want to do some predictions for those matches. Friday, I'm probably not going to be doing a broadcast because, like I said, I'll be out of town. But yeah, actually, let's go right on to it. Since we talked about the match,
Yes.
so Raquel Rodriguez is challenging Rhea Ripley for the World Heavyweight Championship. These two have a great rivalry going on. It's going to be a great match, but at the end, I think Rhea Ripley just shown how dominant she is as a champion is, and I think Raquel Rodriguez, she could win the title, but with her bad knee and all, I don't think she can do it. So my prediction is Rhea Ripley retaining the title, still World Heavyweight Champion. So what's your prediction?
I also think that Rhea Ripley is. I think Raquel Rodriguez was cleared to. She's medically cleared, so she at her best will probably be a good matchup for Rhea, unless Rhea takes advantage of the recent recovery and starts targeting her knee. Um, and Rhea is she knows how to put the pressure on, so this will be an interesting matchup to see which goes where. I do think that I agree with you. Maybe probably Rhea's going to win this match up um, this time. So
All right. Going back to a couple of the other matches that are going to happen. Obviously, we just talked about the match Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. And I said my prediction already. If you don't know, I think Becky Lynch is going to. This is going to be ending the feud. By the way, this is the last and final match between Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus. And I said it before. Becky Lynch has. A fun fact is Trish Stratus never been in a steel cage match. So this is going to be a first time for her. Becky Lynch been in 3 steel cage matches. She's been in Hell in a Cell, and I'm always going with my pick. I think Becky Lynch is going to get the job done. I think Becky Lynch gets redemption. And I also think Lita is going to return and help her. So that's my prediction. I think Becky Lynch defeats Trish Stratus in a steel cage match. What's your prediction?
I'd say that's pretty accurate. I mean, Becky Lynch can be the one that will take down Rhea. I mean, not Rhea. Becky Lynch will be the first one that takes down, Trish. Um, and honestly, Trish, she always needs help to win, and she can't win without someone helping her. So we will have to really see how she's going to do as a person.
All right. So, to obviously at the end of the Raw, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn said that they were sick of facing Judgment Day all the time, and they announced that their match is gonna be a street fight. So at Payback, it's gonna be Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn defending their titles against Judgment Day, Finn Balor and Damian Priest in a street fight. So it's a Steel City street fight. Since Payback is gonna be in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, so it's gonna be for the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. So my prediction, like I said, Rhea Ripley said that if Finn Balor and David Priest don't win gold, there's gonna be changes in the Judgment Day. It's gonna be interesting to see what's gonna happen, but I still gonna go for my gut. I still think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn, they're just too good to drop the titles this early. They've been champions since WrestleMania, so I still think it's early for them to drop the title. So I think Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn will retain the titles, and I'm interested in seeing what's going to happen with Judgment Day. My prediction is one member is going to get kicked out, but we have to see. But I'm keeping up with that pick. I'm picking Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens to retain their title in the street fight. So what's your prediction?
I think that probably the Judgment Day is going to cheat. They're obviously going to want to cheat to win, and this could be the opportunity to really get at that advantage over Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. There's no disqualification in the street fight match, so these guys can really do some damage to Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. And these guys have to watch their back, obviously, because the entire Judgment Day is going to be coming down on them. And if they come down on them and overpower them, and they just beat them down more than they've ever been beaten before, they will just not be able to uh, advance as a faction. It's obvious that the bloodline is fractured right now, and they're no longer the same as they were before. But the Judgment Day now have this ability to win. They will really push themselves to that next level. Um, that's what I see. So
All right, and we obviously know the Miz is going to face off against the megastar LA Knight in a one-on-one matchup. You already know my prediction there. I think LA Knight's gonna get the job done. I don't know. It's gonna be a close match. Obviously, the Miz might win. LA Knight's going to win, but I feel like LA Knight has much to prove. So I am taking LA Knight to beat the Miz in a one-on-one matchup. So what do you think?
I think that the Miz can win against LA Knight. Um, so sorry, not the Miz. The LA Knight can win against the Miz. You know, and it's just going to be difficult for the Miz to overcome all this goodness that's out there. So the Miz has to pull out all the stops and somehow make it possible for um, the LA Knight to win against him. I think it's the promo that LA Knight that the Miz did against on the LA Knight was interesting, and it was funny too. Because he was imitating the LA Knight's gimmick, saying yeah, yeah, yeah. Um, so it was interesting. So,
All right. So what is your pick, LA Knight or The Miz?
I would say LA Knight.
LA Knight wins. All right. We got two more matches for Payback. I'm not sure. I'll be surprised if Friday. So the thing about Friday night is Jimmy Uso's gonna return. There might be. I don't know. He might. I don't know. One more SmackDown before Payback. People are saying that I want to see Jay versus Jimmy at Payback, but I don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't know if they're gonna make it official. But next match is Rey Mysterio, the United States champion, defending the title against Austin Theory, who's hungry to win his title back. Look, obviously, I like Austin Theory, but I feel like his U.S. title reign is been iffy. Rey Mysterio never had a championship opportunity. Obviously, it was supposed to be Santos Escobar, but it's gonna be a really, really good match. But in the end, I think Austin Theory is going to. I think Rey Mysterio is going to retain the title with the help of Santos Escobar. Another way I can see this is Grayson Waller might be right. I think Santos Escobar, actually Rey Mysterio, sorry, might have stolen Santos Escobar's opportunity, and then maybe Santos. We might see a heel turn from Santos, causing Rey Mysterio to lose the title, ending up Austin Theory winning the title. But my initial prediction is Rey Mysterio retaining the United States title against Austin Theory with help with Santos. But it can go either way, you never know. So, but that's my prediction. Rey Mysterio retains. What's your prediction?
I think that Rey Mysterio will probably defend the title against Austin Theory.
That he is.
Yeah, Austin Theory has had his reign, and it's time for him to step aside and let the new person be that role model. So, uh, yeah, so he's gotta he Austin Theory needs um, more 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 guidance. He needs more to just like Dominic Mysterio. He needs a reason why he's a heel and why he says he's the best. Um, for Roman Reigns, um, not Roman Reigns, but Dominic Mysterio, not Dominic, but the elder Mysterio, Rey Mysterio. He's gonna put his all into this match, and he's gonna really take the U.S. title to the next level. That's what I see him doing. And also Theory, he's got to do whatever else. He's got to have some other goal to focus on, so that he can have it continue to do what he does in WWE.
All right. So you got Rey Mysterio retaining, right?
Yes.
All right, and the last and final match before we wrap up is obviously Seth freaking Rollins defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. Obviously, I saw this coming once Shinsuke attacked Seth Rollins the first ever time. They said that he already turned heel, but yeah, Seth freaking Rollins is going to be defending the World Heavyweight Championship against Shinsuke Nakamura. So my prediction. Obviously, I said Seth freaking Rollins. I just feel like Seth freaking Rollins is carrying this company, and I feel like I feel like it's too early for him to drop the title, and like people are saying that I've seen people saying that Finn Balor should have taken the title off Seth. You know, this past Sunday, I went to your church activity, right? So I met this guy that watched
Yes.
wrestling. He said that, Seth Rollins is doing horrible because he's not as good as a babyface as he was a heel. But but I only think Seth Rollins is going to retain because they're already advertising Roman Reigns versus Seth Rollins at this year's Survivor Series. So they're probably going to have that ultimate battle ready and set. So I think freaking Rollins is capable. And obviously, I think Seth Rollins is going into this match, pissed off, eager. Thinking Nakamura already kicked him in the face twice or in the back twice. Um, Shinsuke Nakamura already mentioned his wife and kids, which pissed him off. So I think Seth Rollins is going to retain the title. So what do you think?
I think Shinsuke Nakamura is getting under Seth Rollins' skin, so he could possibly win against Seth Rollins. But you never know. Seth Rollins might probably retain, but Shinsuke Nakamura might just say things, continue to talk to him, and get under his skin, play those mind games, and just get in his head. He's trying to get in his head and make him make mistakes. And honestly, you might see Seth Rollins lose, and then once he loses, he could lose to if he wins, and then all of a sudden Damian Priest comes out and cashes that Money in the Bank, and he loses right there. He loses his championship. That could happen. That's still a threat out there, and Seth Rollins has to be careful. Come Payback, because that's a real threat.
Yeah, that's also a thing, and I don't remember how many failed IYO Sky already successfully cashed her Money in the Bank. I don't know how many failed cash-ins there was in the past. I know Austin Theory was the previous one. He tried to cash in for a United States title, dumbass, by the way. I know John Cena was one of them. And I think there was Damian Shadow was one of them. He was the old wrestler, but we're not going to talk about that. But yeah, it's going to be interesting, and that's the prediction for Payback. And going back to this week Raw, a recap. The website said that this is probably the weaker Raw shows. I actually thought this past Raw show was awesome. Obviously, the ending segment of Kevin Owens and Sami making their match at Payback a street fight. But there was nothing really. There's nothing really bad about it. I don't know why the site said it was one of the weaker shows. They said they've seen worst Raw shows ever. But my probably my thought is I thought it was a great show. There were some great segments. Probably my favorite match was probably the Becky Lynch and Zoe Stark Falls Count Anywhere match. Definitely at the end when Becky Lynch paid tribute to Bray Wyatt, showing like Bray Wyatt was the one that showed me how to set up a table. I didn't know how to set up a table, so he showed me. But yeah, that's my final thoughts on this past Monday Night Raw. I give it a grade of a B. I think a B is a great average to give this show. So, what do you think of the show, Katina Yorker, and what grade would you give it? A, B, C, D, F, whatever.
Nothing really significant happened, so I'd probably give it a B. Um, Probably a B. I give it a B because nothing really major happened. Just want to have another normal night in WWE. So that's what I give it.
All right, so yeah, that will do it for this past Monday Night Raw recap. I'm not sure I'll be doing a broadcast this week for Friday. Like I said, I'll be out of town. Payback is Saturday. I won't be back until Tuesday, so I might be back Tuesday to do a recap for next week's Monday Night Raw. Canadian Yorker, if you're around, if you want to do a recap for Payback and for next SmackDown, we can do multiple videos. It's up to you. So, anyways, guys, I'm Bruin Steel. Thank you guys for watching. Like always, give a huge shout out to Canadian Yorker for joining the broadcast. His link will be in the descriptions as always. And if you guys are into WWE, share your predictions with us in the comment below. Share what your prediction for this week Payback and who do you think is going to win. But anyways, I'm getting off here. My name is Bruin Steel. Thank you guys for watching. And this is Canadian Yorker. If you have any final words.
I I don't have any final words. Just looking forward to Payback and seeing what is going to happen.
All right, but
So
anyways, I won't be doing a broadcast for Friday and Payback. If I can, I can, but I might have to wait until next week. Like I said, Canadian Yorker, if you want to do a video when I get back of Payback or Friday or Monday, or we can just do Monday, maybe do talking a little about what happened at Payback. We can do that. We can definitely do that. Add some Payback discussions with that Monday Night Raw and some Friday Night SmackDown discussion of what happened. But anyways, I'm Bruce Steele. Thank you guys for watching, and I am signing out. Peace.
peace out.